So, man, I have two I want to say, but I'll just use this one. All right. So you said, I used to say yes to every show opportunity, but that's not the case anymore. Some events feel like the coordinator pulled random names out of the hat and called it a show. That's a no for me. There has to be some cohesiveness. And I brought this up because, you know, being somebody who puts on shows like we do, we put on the Hip Hop Fest and a couple other shows. That's something I'm cognizant of because I feel like artists see that. They notice that like, oh, you're just trying to put some bullshit together so you can like sell tickets or say you did a show or whatever your motive is, instead of actually being about the culture or the event or the sound or the theme of what you're trying to put together. Did you have an experience like that, or is it something that you're kind of like witnessing around your area?
Yeah, I actually have two experiences with that. I have an experience as an event coordinator. Before I did music more consistently. I used to throw shows, and I was that person who would just pick a bunch of artists and just throw on a show. And I told myself, like, wow, that's horrible. Once I became an artist, I was like, shame on me, you know? Shame on me. But then as an artist, when you're trying to get your name out there, and sometimes you're just like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to perform here because I'm trying to get my name out.
Yeah, I did a lot of parts.
But it started getting really frustrating for me when let's just say I would perform, or the person before me was a super hype artist, and then they want me to go after. I'm just like thinking to myself, did this promoter even hear my music?
Yeah.
I'm not a hype artist.
Yeah.
I got really like down tempo stuff, and I don't really move around much. So why would you put me up to this guy that was literally jumping the entire thing? This is gonna be hard. And then after that, you know, like then after me, somebody really odd would go, and there was just like, at least kind of like listen to what they're saying and then kind of figure out a way to go
to make it work.
Yeah.
And also, how do you get new fans? I mean, if your music's great, your music's great. But I feel like it's hard to get new fans if you're in a room full of trap artists. You know, just say you're in a room full of trap artists and you don't make trap music. And now, like, everybody who's listening, they're all fans of the trap artists. You're just, you know, it's like, I came here for what?
Yeah, and that's happened to me a lot of times. And so I sat there one day and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna say yes to a lot of things anymore because like, first of all, like, I'm spending my gas to go out there, and sometimes these shows are far, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta be more mindful, and I'll ask, and sometimes the promoters will like look at me like, oh, look at this, like, why are you asking these questions? But I'm like, dude, I gotta ask, like, who's performing? How long am I performing? Like,
who's
where
putting
is
on the
it?
show?
Yeah, who's putting on the show? Like, what is this? Like, because I personally don't mind performing for two people in the crowd. That's okay with me. Like, that's perfectly okay with me. I've never had an issue with that because I'm gonna give my all, whether there's one or there's 50. But what I do care for is that whoever's putting it on actually cares about the artists, actually listens to their music, and it's not just putting it on just because they know they're gonna get a cut out the bar, even if it's free admission. And I'm not getting any cut, and I understand that as an indie artist that I'm not, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. But at least show us some appreciation.
At least have a microphone.
Yes.
At least have laptop and a mixer, things that you need
so
to put on a really quality show.
That's all I ask for, really. That's all I ask for.
I feel you on that, 100%.
I'm not asking to get paid. I just want some little bit of appreciation because I know I'm going to come out here and I'm probably going to buy a few drinks. I'm going to bring a few people, and they're going to buy drinks. You're going to get paid. I'm not going to get paid. But at least give me a good 15 minutes where the person before me is not a crazy hype artist. And I'm just like, oh, okay, this room needs to chill for a second. What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
I don't know. I seen one of your recent performances, and you kind of getting hyped now. You threw the jacket on. He was like, fuck this. He's like, caught up in the mix.
I'm getting a little better with my on-stage presence.
Getting more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm getting a little more comfortable now.
Is there anything like you would say you're experimenting more on stage with, or any like go-to move that you would like?
I think just be more interactive with the crowd.
Yeah.
Before, I just wouldn't even look at people in the eye sometimes. I just
so focus on just getting the words out
and
not messing up.
Because I was horrible before, but now I'm just like, okay. And I think I owe that a lot to the Pomona community too,
Mm-hmm.
because the Pomona community, the ones that listen to my music, I think they come to the shows and they're singing along, and that energy is amazing. When anybody's singing to your lyrics, like that energy is just crazy. So because of that, it gets me a little bit hyped to give a better. Not that I wouldn't give that energy, but the energy is different than performing to people that you don't know and performing to people that do know your music. It's two different vibes, two different energies, and I try to build off both and know what to do with both, and so that's why you kind of saw me getting a little crazy at the DVA. I think it was last week. Yeah,
I
you might see some more of that on my release event.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm with that. Shit, hit a pirouette one time.
Oh, but you dropped it, so let's talk about it. The project, the debut. What's the name of it?
Foreign.
Oh, and how you feeling?
I'm feeling great about it. It's pretty awesome.